Hello, welcome to stage 5, Race Watopia, going coastal. This is my 5th race on this course. It's one of the we've got the new coastal roads. It's quite an enjoyable ride once you get out of this desert area. So they've done this 5 times. Really struggling actually with the finish on this course. First race came 5th, so not bad. Thought I could podium if I pushed a little bit harder. Second, third, and fourth races came mid 40s and mid 20s, so it really got badly positioned for the final sprint. Came ninth with Lee Cassidy in another good fun race. So feeling a bit stronger there. And but yesterday I did this and I got dropped at the beach and fought very hard for 63rd position. It was a hard fought battle with more wattage on the sprints going out for 63rd position than there were for first, second, and third. So there's a fair battle there. So haven't done very well on this course. I've got a new trainer thanks to Zwift. They've replaced under warranty my last trainer. It was struggling to calibrate and virtual shifting was all over the place. So the new trainer is much smoother. So looking forward to been racing with that and enjoying myself with smooth pedalling. I hadn't realised how bad my old trainer had got. Something like 10,000 kilometres on that trainer. Anyway, here we go. This is, we'll say stage 5. We'll skip through some of it. There's a few points in here where there are some breakaways. There's one going off now. And again, we'll talk you through what happens. Yeah, so I think after threatening to go early in the pre-race chat, we've got someone going off at the front, and it's very early. We're only less than a kilometre in, so I'm gonna sit back and just let the pack chase. That's the plan anyway. But as you'll start to see, that rider's getting further and further in front. But there's still a long way to go. So I'm actually surprised how long we leave him out there. But it's eventually reined in. Few riders trying to bridge that already. And you'll again hear that rider that's trying to bridge it just joins the rider in the front. And as you'll see in a moment, the two of them kind of stick together for an uncomfortably long time, actually. And 3 kilometres in, and those two riders still out in front, getting a bit impatient here, thinking, are we actually going to chase them down? So I moved to the front, and pop 6 watts a kilo and just push and think, well, can't beat them. I'll join them. See and see if I can pull the field back together. So I bridge these two. And I was very surprised to see on the little mini map there that actually those following sort of backed off. Apart from this one rider here who's come with me. Now there are some teams in this race, and I did wonder whether this is teams deploying team tactics just to try and wear some of us out. We've got Team HCT in here. We've also got the Y race or Y practice just race team. Yeah, but eventually 4 kilometres. It's inevitable that this comes back together, and I didn't burn too much. I'm actually doing fairly reasonable numbers here. Bit of blue on the chart. and just sit back in the pack. Just coming up to the very shallow climb that goes through this part of the desert, and again on the mini map you can see that someone's having an attack, someone's having a go for it. But again, very early on, 12, 13 kilometers left. It's a very flat course. I learned from the last one, which I'm just going to let them go and sort of sit in this pack. Slightly tail gunning here in the back 2/3, but I'm keeping an eye now to see if anyone actually is going to make that bridge. And again, another 2 kilometers, and nobody's made that bridge to the person in the front. We've had one person suggest we attack, and the numbers are going up. So I'm going to follow. I'm certainly not going to pull this group, but I don't want to get left behind on a split. They don't seem to want to chase down any attacks, and it's a really flat course, a really aero course. So we should be closing that down. And that person out there, poor chap, must be working really hard to stay out that far on their own. Yeah, this caused a bit of controversy here because the person that suggested we push didn't push. So yeah, you can see the commentary going on there. People not exactly pleased. Well, one person certainly not pleased about that. Again, is this team tactics? Don't know. Got a couple of draft fans being used, but we do appear to be closing the gap. But it looks like another person is trying to bridge. So I use my van here. Again, I've been caught out before, so I'm going to come from the back and I'm going to bridge with if I think it's Houghton. If he manages to bridge, I'm going with him, and if he doesn't, I'll just take his wheel, and at least we've pulled the group a bit further. But he sort of gave up there, and the person out in the lead has still got that gap. And I'm now at the front, so let's back off a little bit. Finally, as we enter this tunnel, it looks like a few riders are going to actually put their foot down, or and actually close this gap. So again, I'm just going to go with that downhill -2% out of this tunnel, and then there's a short climb. So I'm just going to make sure I'm in the top 2/3 of the pack. So if there are splits, I'm not caught on the end of it. But given how we've worked so far, I don't want to be sort of burning matches here to close this down. I'm just going to let the group close it down and stick with it. And yeah, there's some watts being pushed here, and I think we finally might close them down as we go up this short hill. And I push a bit here. I always push a little bit up these hills, and just to regain position, and then that position come back as we draft down. So there we go. Back to the crab shack, and the pack is back together. So that was quite remarkable. I think it's 5 or 6 kilometers we let someone out on their own, and don't really know why or how that happened, but it's all back together. Now, nothing much really happens here until we get to the sort of last kilometre. Again, there's a breakaway attempt here, but it's downhill and we're on the rollers. It's just not going to work. So we'll speed up and move to the end of this race and see how I get on at the finish line. Okay, within the last 1.5 kilometres of the race now, and there's a beautiful downhill, -2, -3% here, just to rest on as you come around this sweeping corner. Nice place to take a break. And I'm kind of thinking, I've got a feather, so I'm trying to work out what's best to do here. I say this is my 5th attempt at this race and seem to have misjudged this sprint each time. Tail gunning here, and RT, who we've raced before, he's a very good rider, has done a double sprint from here, which I've tried. It got me 9th to try and pull the pack. But nobody's making a move here, and I'm comfortable with my position. I've seen it stretch out here, and if it does stretch out, I think you've got to follow it. But nobody's pushing, so it looks like we're going to make it to the bridge. I push forward a little bit though, just because I want to make sure I'm not too far back if anybody does go. So I push to the front here. Happy with that position. There's a couple of draft fans. Someone's gone early. Now in hindsight, I think I should have gone with them. I thought it was a bit too early and I didn't think they'd make it that way, all that distance. So I sat behind here, activate my feather, drop a little bit too far back actually here, and now push it. And I've learned the best place to really put the hammer down is on this uphill. You want to go down into it and then really hammer it as everybody's fading. I couldn't quite do it again here, ran out of road. That person that went early did win the race and I got top 10. I think, again, hindsight here is you need to be following any attacks. You need to follow the attacks, but you need to put your biggest wattage out just as you hit that uphill. Just as you're coming into that trough, that's when you need your biggest wattage and just explode through the group. So, again, 5 races here and not brilliant results yet. Oh, they're 2 top 10s, but could have done better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that format, going back to kind of just commentating as after the race. Thank you.